Love is the greatest of all commandments and is what we here are dedicated to spreading to the whole world. My friend, we spread that love by going through interesting videos from other wonderful athletes like ourselves from across the whole world, trying to understand how different humans think, live, and believe in different places of this world. So, good vibes, creature of earth, as you react to these videos together, with you leaving your thoughts down below in the comment section. As I give my commentary from this side, I'd like you to meditate on the virtue of love, peace, honesty, forgiveness, unity, and peace, which is basically what we here are all about. But my friend, for us to be able to spread all these virtues to each individual, we have to be guided by the maker of everything, which is our maker, the Lord Almighty, whom we acknowledge by always saying a word of thanks before we start. But first, before we reach to that point, I'd like to share with you a short story from this book here, Book of Wisdom, about our Maker when he was on earth. Then the disciple, whom Jesus loved, said to Peter, "It is the Lord." As soon as Simon Peter heard him say it is the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him, for he had taken it off, and jumped into the water. The other disciples followed in the boat, towing the net full of fish, for they were not far from shore, about 90 meters. When they landed, they saw a fire of burning coals, there with fish on it and some bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish you have just caught." Simon Peter climbed aboard and dragged the net ashore. It was full of large fish, 153, but even with so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." None of these disciples dared to ask him, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came, took the bread, and gave it to them, and did the same with the fish. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. Huh, good vibes, creature. That is from John 27 going down. This Jesus that was raised from the dead is the one we shall be talking to before we start. Let's do so together. Father, thank you for your love. Thank you, dear Lord Father, for the sacrifice of your Son, Jesus Christ, to die for our sins. All glory and honor belong unto you. Thank you for your child, today's viewer that have joined us, Father. All glory and love belong unto you for their lives, Father. Dear Lord, may you purify us and forgive us all our sins, Father. Fill us with your spirit as you react to these videos and help us, Father, to spread peace together with your child here. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, good vibes. So,
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
That white doctors are trained to keep black people sick. About 4 years ago, my primary care physician put me on acid reflux medicine. She was a white woman. She told me to take it every single day. About 3 months after that, I found out I had a thyroid issue, so I wound up going to an endocrinologist. She was a Hispanic woman. When I got to her, she pulled me off that medication. She told me only take it if it is necessary. She told me to try over-the-counter acid reducer pill or apple cider vinegar. She ended up telling me that it causes stomach ulcers after taking it for prolonged times, and there have been studies to show that it causes early onset dementia. I try to find either black or POC physicians, dentists. I don't trust my life with white doctors.
That is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What? Oh my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a look. What is it? Making
Making the world more open and connected.
oh my God, it's like a secret cult. And this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. Oh, 2010.
No, it's 2010.
Oh no. I read Dan Brown on the...
what? Look at this. The Simpsons and let's see. There was an episode in The Simpsons that almost looked like an exact scene of the Los Angeles fire that happened recently. Do you think that was a coincidence, good web source? Look, even the chopper that was there, my God. Or these things in real life copy from these cartoons. What do you think? Or how do these cartoons things, predict things that allegedly happen? My God. Ooh, I laser beam. Oh my God, this is crazy. In the cartoons, it's alleged that the fire was started by some laser beam. If you check out from what we've been seeing even in different episodes, some people happen to believe that the fires in that place called Los Angeles was started by some laser beams. You see? Leave your thoughts on this good vibes creature.
What if I told you that there are no such thing as forests? They're all just bushes.
What the actual hell are you talking about?
Did you ever wonder what these things are? These are the real trees in the days of giants before they all got cut down. Do you ever see trees this big anymore?
Buddy, forests exist, all right. I've been camping with my kids.
That was a bush, brother. The real trees were 10 miles tall and as thick as a whale.
Those aren't trees, man. Those are called, I don't know what they're called, but I know they're not trees, all right.
How do you explain the flat tops then? Go on. Go ahead and tell me.
That is because of...
That ain't a natural formation, buddy. It's a cut down tree stump.
My God.
Dude, these are 100% tree stumps. How do you explain all these formations? It's all biological geometric patterns, brother. What if I told you inside the tiny trees we have today, it's the same structure?
Why are they all cut down then? Why isn't there a single so-called giant tree to look at?
Same reason as always, buddy. Evil people with evil plans, trying to deceive us all and keep us in the dark.
And what benefit would they get out of that? Wasting all their time cutting every last giant tree. It makes no sense.
Personally, I would have built the world's biggest treehouse if those giant trees were still around.
What in tarnation are you talking about?
And you see these are all the trees which were broken at the root.
Those are mountains, man. You're going too far with all this.
Those are broken tree trunks, buddy. You don't see the resemblance. You're blind, brother. The programming on your mind is too strong. Break free.
Buddy, I'm done with you.
This is my favorite Kardashian conspiracy theory that lives on to this day. It's Kourtney Kardashian's third child, Reign, not a Disick, but actually a Bieber. The internet believes so strongly that Justin Bieber and Kourtney Kardashian had a baby together because they had a famous rendezvous right around the time that Reign would have been conceived. Even Ellen was on her case about it.
Does Justin Bieber help with the kids at all, or?
No, only
That's the rumor. I know y'all are just friends, right? Or are you really dating him?
we're friends.
You're friends.
Yes,
Why are you smiling that way?
we're friends.
The strongest piece of evidence is how shockingly similar Reign and Justin look. Before I even knew this theory, anytime I would see Reign, I would think, he looks like Justin Bieber. If he grows out his hair into the Bieber swoop and starts singing Baby and sounds just like Justin, I'm calling Mari. It's actually so fucked up because any video online of Reign gets flooded with comments about, he looks like Justin, Reign Bieber. Scott and Kourtney had a major breakup in 2014, and if you remember on the show, that's when Scott went away to rehab, so he was out of the picture for a while. Kourtney and Scott in their tumultuous relationship, though, were definitely known to seek revenge on each other. So in this picture with Justin, he's hiding the woman's face, and his caption was, Lord knows, and everyone knows Scott calls himself the Lord. Interesting, down the line, Scott got with Justin Bieber's ex, Sophia Richie, maybe a revenge thing. He's like, I can get the young hot stars too, Kourtney. This theory has been cited to allegedly get under Scott's nerves a lot, and he even allegedly asked Kourtney to get a DNA test to confirm that Reign is his, but she would not. And the craziest part of this theory is that Scott and Kourtney broke up for the final time 6 months after Reign was born. Make sure to follow to know all the best celebrity conspiracy theories because you know Patty has them.
What does it mean when Area 51 personnel call out Watchdog Tango over the radio? We might actually have a pretty good idea now, thanks to a plane spotter who got caught last October trying to snap pictures of classified aircraft being tested out of this secretive installation. And what makes this story so interesting isn't just that plane spotter's first-hand account, or even the footage he managed to snag that night, but rather a recording from his scanner of radio chatter between Area 51 personnel as they realized he was out there and canceled a test flight of something highly secretive as a result. Now, you almost certainly already know that it is very illegal and generally dangerous to try to sneak into Area 51 to get a close look at anything the Air Force is doing out there. But there is still one place, some 26 miles east of the installation, where you can get a pretty good vantage point of the airbase, at least from pretty far out. And that place is called Tickaboo Peak. And it's famous among plane spotters for being the only place where you can get a good look at Area 51 without actually venturing into restricted territory. It's completely legal to be out there on Tickaboo Peak, but because it is about 26 miles away from Groom Lake, you're not going to get a very good look at anything unless you have some pretty serious photography equipment. And that is where McCall Rokita comes in. Now, Rokita's an experienced plane spotter. In fact, in just the past few years, he has gotten a lot of very cool pictures of F-117 Nighthawks operating out of this Groom Lake facility. And on October 11th of 2023, at just about 3:30 in the afternoon, he made the 8,000-foot climb to the top of Tickaboo Peak and settled in for a long night of plane watching. Things stayed pretty quiet until right around sunset when he got some footage of two fast movers, as he calls them, or unidentified jets, landing at the airbase. Though because of the waning light, there was really no way to identify what types of aircraft they were. But from there, it was a pretty quiet night at Area 51, with absolutely no inbound or outbound traffic until morning. And it wasn't until around 5:35 a.m. that he finally heard the dull drum of an inbound aircraft. It sounded like a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter, perhaps the most common rotorcraft in the US military, and certainly one employed by personnel at Area 51. And I'll just quote Rokita from here. The sound was getting louder and louder, and I had the impression that they were really close to me. My feeling turned out to be true, and as I took a look to my left, I noticed the base chopper very low above me. It was moving slowly, low above the ground, making a slow pass-by circle above. Then it hovered for several seconds, looking at me, just to leave in the direction of Groom in a matter of seconds. And as Rokita himself tells us, all this wouldn't be so interesting if it weren't for the fact that he had his scanner on the whole time and heard communications on some of the Groom Lake mission frequencies. Transmissions he went ahead and posted online. I'll let you hear him here.
One able. Confirmation of Watchdog Tango. That will be a decision point for us this morning.
Hog on mission backup, one able. Saber 3-1 is airborne. He should be on station about 2 minutes.
Radio check on backup. Clear, on me. Thanks for the words. Really appreciate the help.
Saber 3-1 has called in and has confirmed Watchdog Tango. We are done today.
Yep, thank you. Our primary mission has canceled.
Now, if you're having trouble understanding what you just heard, it was a radio conversation between a few people, specifically Coffee Tree, which is the call sign for Area 51 Air Traffic Control, and Saber 31, which seems to be the call sign for the UH-60U Ghost Hawk helicopter that we know is operated out there at Area 51. Now, early in the recording I played for you, you can hear Coffee Tree, the air traffic controller, saying, confirmation of Watchdog Tango, that will be a decision point for us this morning, seemingly suggesting that they're scrambling aircraft to confirm some set of circumstances that they call Watchdog Tango. Before long, you hear Saber 31 chime in and say that they're airborne and they should be on station in about 2 minutes. And this was recorded as that UH-60 was heading for Rokita's position. Before long, you hear Saber 31 ask for radio check on backup, meaning that they may have been having some trouble with direct comms with air traffic control and were looking to relay a message. That mission backup radio confirmed that they were listening and relaying, and Coffee Tree thanked them for the help. And from there, that mission backup radio relayed that Saber 31 had confirmed Watchdog Tango before saying, we're done for the day. At that point, Coffee Tree confirmed, yup, thank you. And then another voice comes on to say, our primary mission has canceled. So what does all this mean? Well, it sure seems as though Watchdog Tango are two words used to describe the fact that there is a plane spotter that's been identified somewhere out there trying to get a picture of whatever's going on the installation that day. Tango, which is the alphanumeric letter for the letter T, very likely points toward Tickaboo Peak, which is the only place anywhere near the Groom Lake facility where you could get a good line of sight with a camera to that airstrip at Area 51. So it seems as though they were about to test something highly secretive. But before they could, they needed to make sure that there were no plane spotters out at Tickaboo Peak, where legally they are perfectly allowed to be. But the Air Force knows they've got a good chance at snapping a picture of something they shouldn't see if they're there. So they scrambled that Ghost Hawk helicopter to confirm, using their night vision goggles, that there really was a plane spotter out there on Tickaboo Peak. And in just about 2 minutes, they were hovering at low altitude right above Rokita, confirming that he was there and not exactly hiding the fact that they weren't happy about it.
We drove in, we had in the back Geiger counters, film cameras, videos, everything. They say give us a glee. I can't say glee. Y'all know I'm the clone. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how. That's the only thing that the software, you gotta understand, like, you gotta wait till like 2025, like when the software is like all the way like up to date. They ain't gave me everything yet. You know what I'm saying? There's certain little things I can't do like to do Kodiak Black. You know what I'm saying? I ain't adapt all the things.
Raw, unfiltered scientific proof for what the pyramids were really built for. This is what a real Egyptian tomb looks like, and this is the biggest tomb in the world, the Great Pyramid of Giza. The closer you look, the more you realize this pyramid was definitely not made for burying the dead, because the materials they used to build it are exactly what we'd use today to create an electric current. Giza used to be covered with bright white casing stones that were virtually airtight, made out of polished limestone brought from Tura, a quarry 500 miles away. Oh, they just wanted the pyramids to look all nice and white and cute, right? So much that they were willing to drag stones the length of Florida away to do so, for the aesthetic. This special limestone from Tura happens to have less magnesium in it than regular limestone, making it an ideal insulator of electricity, as well as perfect for reflecting sunlight to keep the inside cool. The interior chambers of the pyramid were built with rose granite containing 85% quartz, which is piezoelectric, meaning it produces a small electric charge when moved or squeezed, the same quartz that's used to power a watch battery or a barbecue lighter. Granite also ionizes the air inside the chambers, which further increases the conductivity of electricity. On top of being sourced from Aswan, another quarry hundreds of miles away, the granite slabs inside Giza have these weird structural designs to them that don't exactly look good and are just incredibly difficult to make. Why on earth would you build a roof like this that just makes the job 10 times harder, using 80-ton stone blocks from hundreds of miles away that you can't even see from inside the chamber when it's done? Historians will tell you they were relieving chambers, meant to keep the room from collapsing from the great weight of the pyramid overhead, even though the chambers below had no such relief. On the other hand, if you were somehow able to apply pressure to these chambers, you'd get an electric charge from the quartz. A lot of it. But electricity can't just exist if we want to utilize it for energy. It needs to get directed through something in order for us to make use of it, an electric current. Copper is often used in wires to do just that. And take a wild guess what a remote camera revealed in the pyramid's narrow shafts just a few years back. 2 copper handles embedded into the stone at the end of the shaft, the only metal to have ever been confirmed in Giza, as well as a set of what appear to be instructions that looks like a wiring diagram painted on the side of the shaft, to which modern Egyptologists claim these handles were used with ropes to pull jars up the shaft. They're just getting desperate at this point. These shafts really have no confirmed purpose. They're commonly referred to as air vents, but some of them don't even lead to the outside. In 2013, former Egyptian Antiquities Minister Zahi Hawass was accused of theft of Egyptian artifacts from the pyramid. In the list of items rumored to have been stolen, there was one that stood out from the rest. Long copper wires. A strange artifact by any means, and just what you'd need to complete an electric current. So were the pyramids built as giant batteries? I mean, we have all the pieces in place, but how exactly would this battery even work? Aerospace engineer Chris Dunn popularized the Giza power plant theory by kind of proving it with actual science, hard numbers, and a scale model. From the top, this is what the inside of Giza looks like: a top or king's chamber with a lower queen's chamber underneath it, a large slanted shaft, the grand gallery connecting both chambers, and a bottom subterranean chamber with a bunch of long narrow shafts leading into each. According to Dunn, the pyramid is what's called a coupled oscillator, a device that's connected to a larger vibrating body in such a way that energy can be transferred between them, converting vibrational energy, the natural resonance of the earth, into microwave energy. Now, the earth, it vibrates, producing frequencies in the form of natural underground seismic activity, the Schumann resonances in Earth's electromagnetic fields, as well as the movement of water in key locations just below Earth's surface, which also creates vibrational frequencies. The entire process starts in the subterranean chamber, which was built directly above underground aquifers with powerful flowing water right under the pyramids. A convenient location for the perfect coincidence theory. It's said that the flowing water and possibly even seismic activity of the Earth would create vibrational waves that resonate throughout the pyramid. vibrational waves that would be maximized at the center of mass of any object, and Giza just so happens to sit at the center of landmass of the world. Coincidence. Now the real kicker was when traces of zinc and hydrochloric acid were found in the shafts leading into the Queen's Chamber. Dunn suggests that some ancient form of these two chemicals were poured down the shafts and mixed together in the chamber, which would trigger a chemical reaction, one that releases hydrogen gas, a proven process using the exact trace chemicals that were found in the shafts. The gas would travel from the Queen's Chamber through the Grand Gallery and up into the King's Chamber, while the pressure of the gas compresses the granite quartz and creates piezoelectricity, another proven process. Vibrations from below would trigger resonators in the Grand Gallery, which it was believed that 27 acoustic devices were placed in the empty slots that can be found here. The compressed quartz would create the spark for the vibrations to energize the hydrogen atoms into a microwave energy beam, which would reach the King's Chamber through this 4.8 times 8.4 inch watertight shaft cut into the granite. Conveniently, the perfect size for the hydrogen microwave wavelength at 21 centimeters, and the exact dimensions of what we call a waveguide today, a structure that guides the transmission of energy waves in one direction. And let me remind you, granite is harder than steel. Cutting a shaft like this is damn near impossible with known ancient technology, and definitely not something they do for fun. These microwaves would further resonate in the King's Chamber, which was tuned to a very specific frequency using those layers of stones in the roof. Remember those incredibly difficult stones above the chamber? That's how they tuned the pyramid's frequency. The sarcophagus in this room is expected to have been some source of high voltage, like the Baghdad battery, to further ionize the hydrogen and make that room superconductive. Gold-capped pips, as we believe the pyramids to have had, would also make the perfect conductor to attract the electricity and send it up into the atmosphere. Sounds like it's time for me to take my meds. A super pseudoscientific theory and highly theoretical at that, until you realize in 2018, studies proved that the pyramids can focus electromagnetic energy in their internal chambers and also directly beneath them. That's real, quantifiable, scientific evidence that supports this theory. Many archaeologists also report electromagnetic readings inside of the pyramids and directly above them. So the pyramid's exterior was made with an insulator, the interior with conductors, and the chambers with material that produces electricity. Are these all just coincidences? And even if we did have electricity generated in the pyramids, how would this energy even be distributed for everyone to use? Our boy Tesla may have known the answer and was silenced from revealing it to the world. Let's see if it's up.
At this. Okay, what's going on? Some cartoon here. What is it watching? It looks sad. Oh, it is watching the news. Oh my God, or things that have happened or are happening right now. The chaos, distraction, mad stuff going on around. Look, there is even what seems to appear more. The missions, things, the Illuminati symbols as you have seen from different episodes. How does all this relate? What? Even the picture of the white Jesus. This is unbelievable. How does all those things relate, good way?
The enigma of the Black Knight satellite has captivated conspiracy enthusiasts and UFO aficionados alike for decades. Allegedly orbiting Earth for over 13,000 years, it's shrouded in mystery and speculation. The tale begins with a series of unusual signals detected in the late 19th century, which some believe were from this satellite. In 1954, newspapers reported a mysterious object in orbit, fueling further curiosity. However, the most notable moment came in 1998, when astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour spotted a dark object that sparked massive interest. Theories abound regarding its origins. Some posit it's an ancient alien satellite left behind for monitoring humanity, while others argue it's a classified military project. Skeptics point to a lack of concrete evidence, labeling it an elaborate myth born from misidentified space debris. Interestingly, some suggest the satellite is a form of cosmic communication, or a warning from extraterrestrial beings. Regardless of its true nature, the Black Knight satellite continues to inspire fascination and debate. What do you believe it is? Is it a remnant of a lost civilization or simply a figment of our imagination? The mystery endures, inviting speculation and wonder about the universe.
We're 20 years on from 9/11 and there's still people that think it's some fucking massive conspiracy. Wouldn't you have thought that by now...
Look at this. The people's silence dies 10 days before Clinton Foundation. Look at this. This one had tapes and evidence against the royal family. Yo, and good vibes guy here. He died currently unknown circumstances. This one was about to release a documentary about Dr. Sebi and the cures for HIV, and they were unarrived. This one had information about Jay-Z and R. Kelly, among other people. How is this not a coincidence? And Good Vibes guy there also had some information. Allegedly, all this. Huh. How do you think? What happened?
Poltergeist activity caught on camera. Watch this toy car get pushed across the floor at the haunted Stimson Hospital. We could not debunk this.
I heard you said with your pastor that you felt like you were making devil's music.
Yeah, cause you're such a fucking, oh, I love it. I went from Jesus Walks to You're Such a Fucking Hoe, I Love It. Oh, I bet you the devil was happy on that day. And where that record went straight to what? Number one, quick. We want to spend all of our money on foreigns. We want to spend all our money on luxury as opposed to going and buying some land. America is for sale. And there's a lot of barren land. Disney bought a lot of it in Florida. But the culture has you focused so much on fucking somebody bitch and pulling up in a foreign and rapping about things that could get you locked up and then saying you about prison reform. Like, it's, bro, we brainwashed out here, bro. Come on, man. This is a free man talking. I'll put my life on this interview right.
The book Silenced by the Elites. Know the Only Truth. Over 283 pages packed with conspiracies. The Dark Elite, control agendas, the Black Vatican, aliens, giant reptilians, and reset civilizations like Tartaria. Secrets of forbidden places like Antarctica, the truth about the Illuminati and Freemasons, and stories of people silenced by the powerful. With never-before-seen images, and more. 5 free bonus books included. Just comment, silence, to get instant access before it's too late.
One time they had me go in and work at 2 or 3 in the morning to unload a truck, and I was using the forklift. I'm making all kinds of noise, right? I had no business making that much noise, but they're like, you know what? We need this truck unloaded now. Okay. And then just random as hell, I hear kids playing. Like if it's daytime, it's 3 in the morning. I'm like, all right, fuck parents don't give a shit. They probably gave them candy, soda, and all this other stuff. And then they started getting like louder or closer, and I'm like, all right, I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tired, whatever. So I go to work the next day, and I tell my coworkers, I was like, hey, bro, yeah, everything came in right, but do you ever hear kids playing? And he froze. I'm like, dude, he's like, yes, and I thought I was tripping too.